Hi guys, welcome to today's vlog. Excuse me being all sweaty, but I've literally just finished a workout, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of an idea of how much work I'm putting into this. Sorry, I'm even spitting at you now, so excuse that. So thank you to some of the new followers that have logged onto my blog. I'm just going to give you a little bit of background into why I'm sat in front of a video screen now, all hot and sweaty and can hardly talk. So, I joined the RAF in 1991, and it's, to be honest with you, I did it running away from whatever was happening elsewhere. But I wouldn't have thought about it if it wasn't for the fact that a careers fair had come into the school. And since then, I've been in love with it, and the first chance I had, I went and I joined up and I got accepted. So for me, the military was kind of, and the RAF especially, was where I wanted to be and where I expected to be. I reached the rank of sergeant and then decided to go for my commission as an officer. I then signed on to age 55, thinking I'd be in forever. What I also had the bright idea about doing was qualifying as a paramedic, but what I didn't, or naively forgot or just ignored the fact that my operational tools may not be as Gucci as they were, being as Bahrain was my last one. And to the RAF guys, no, nothing was Gucci, it was really hard work. So I got sent to Afghanistan. The first tour was with the RAF regiment. I was the first female, so that was a really good tour, and that was the making of me. So, you know, best bunch of lads and the best tour I've done. But then I ended up on the medical emergency response team because paramedics were needed out on the front line in Afghan, and we were going out to pick up the wounded from the point of injury, sometimes under fire. It wasn't just the British troops we were picking up all the other nationalities, but also the Afghans, including women and children, and sadly the insurgents. And I say sadly because, yeah, I found it hard, I'm not going to lie to you, especially when we pick up injured troops that were shot by Afghans, and then we had to go and pick those said Afghans up. So obviously we treat everybody because we do that, but it is difficult, but you know, that's part of the job. But sadly it started to take its toll on me. I was having nightmares, wet in the bed at age 45, which is very embarrassing, but I'm not ashamed to say it on here because it's part of what happened, and it's the reality of what I was diagnosed with: PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So especially on my last tour, I struggled whilst on tour, even to the point where, to be honest with you, when I got off the back of the helicopter, I didn't really care whether I got shot or not, because that would either be my ticket home or I wouldn't care anyway because I'd be dead. And you may think, well, that's really a harsh thing to say, but sadly that's the reality of how I felt. I was in a bit of a mess. It was all getting too much, and I didn't want to be there anymore. And you know, I used to be worried about getting off the back of the helicopter, but by the end of the tour I wasn't, because it didn't matter. But I got back, finished the tour, thanks to the guys that were out there with me that probably saved me to the end of that tour. Got home, crashed and burned at work, because you're going from a high intensity role for 3 months to then going and sitting behind a desk and your boss telling you that an email is really important to answer within 10 minutes. So I guess at that point I did feel like I wanted to push her head through the window. I think that's my dog crying for me, bless her. I must have been sounding like I was in pain on the rower. Yeah, I broke down effectively. My fiance left me because yeah, I wasn't a nice person to be around, and in a way I don't blame him, but he's still a fool anyway, because he missed out on me. I'm so lovely. But somebody else's luck, I guess. But not yet, I'm too busy. So, yeah, I had to leave the RAF. I came home to Wigan, mainly to look after my nana and granddad. My mum was here as well. My sister's sort of in Blackburn area, which is like 25-30 minutes away, but my others are in Preston. But yeah, I came to look after them, and everybody who knows me knows, come on baby, knows that my granddad was my world, to be honest, as is this little girl, look. So, oh, she's licking all the sweat off me. Ugh. So, you know, sadly, we lost him, and I haven't hidden the fact, and those that are new to my blog won't know this, but my granddad was the only reason that I didn't kill myself, because I didn't want to do that to him. And now I wouldn't do that to his memory anyway. He meant the world to me, and I miss him daily. In fact, I was sat in the car today, and the song they used to sing to him as a kid and played at his funeral came on, and I had a little weep, and it was just, and I'm feeling it, yeah. So we'll talk about him, but yeah, he's the reason I'm still here, as is, I have to thank my mum for being there. You know, we've not had it easy all the time, but I'll always be grateful for being there, and my sister and my friends. Yeah, we all need somebody to turn to, and I think the reason I do these vlogs now is to sort of, you know, let you guys know that it doesn't have to be the end of your world. I started another job today. Who knows what the future is going to hold, but you just deal with the here and now. I'm very blessed to be part of the Invictus Games, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to work damn hard to get as near to it. You know, I'm a realist. There's some really good athletes out there. I'm not an athlete, but I'm determined, and I've got to focus, and I've got fire in my belly again, and this is why I'm doing it, even with my troll hair, before you lot say it again like you did last night. This is worth it. This sweat and the tears, and the blood that was shed that I couldn't save, it's for all them, and my little girl, look. So, yeah, I'm always open to talk about it, so if anyone out there is struggling or wants to know how maybe I cope with various things, or how I went through things, how my therapy got me through or whatever, then just get in touch, either through my blog or on my Facebook page, which you can get access to. So, yeah, there's always a way out. So, and there's always a reason why we stay alive, and we put out and we put our hands up. So I hope this gives you encouragement that you can do it. And to be honest, if I can get athlete after my name, anybody can. Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye.